All right, everybody. Hello to Pixel Slaves, the show about we thought virtual reality, but turned out to be about everything, including
Everything and
AI
everything. Yeah.
and now electric cars. And we have a special guest. I would say a great YouTuber, great person who does a lot of cool videos about XPeng cars, and that's how I got to know you. So welcome, Hugo. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's out.
It's a blast. So a little
Yep.
bit of backstory, okay? I've been in Tesla Model S, the same Model S owner for almost 11 years, and Shodah has been a petrol head, and then recently joined because I was speaking about electric cars all the time. I guess
All
I've
the time
influenced
in
you a
my
little bit,
ear,
right?
a little bird. Hey,
Yeah,
electric,
exactly.
electric.
And then he said, "Frick it, I'll buy Model 3." So he bought a Model 3 Performance, great car, fantastic looking car as well. And you, Hugo, you're an XPeng G6 owner. So we're kind of, I mean, those who are watching, they probably already got the point that we'll be talking a lot about electric cars today.
Yeah.
So maybe, Hugo, can you introduce yourself a little bit, say what you do, and then we'll take it from there.
Of course. So I am 47 years old. I'm from Portugal. And yes, I just turned to EV. So I electrified myself recently. So I am very new to this new market. So I was also petrol guy. So I was with a Peugeot 5008 family car, 7-seater because I have 5 kids. So I had the need.
Nice.
Yeah. So I had the need to have a 7-seater, and I was okay with it. But the car started giving me some trouble, and I started looking at the market, and I decided to look at the EVs. And I fall in love with the XPeng. So I was looking at Teslas, of course. Well, everybody knows about Teslas. I just drove them. They were very nice, big cars, great ones. But as soon as I tested one, the XPeng, I just felt in love with it. And my kids enjoy it also a lot. And I dive on the car. So it was a little bit crazy because my wife was a little bit against it because of it is a very recent brand in Europe, and in Portugal it's also around 6 months maybe. So it was a little bit tricky to go into these brands and agree on putting my money on that car without knowing much about it. But I was searching on YouTube, making my research, and that's why I also became a YouTuber. Because then when I decided to go for it, I was talking with my wife, and she was telling me, because I was always complaining that I was not finding any videos of real owners. So only professional reviewers that were spending one day with the car and very
There's not
quick
enough, is it?
reviews. And I was complaining about that. And she said, if you like this type of stuff, why don't you start the channel? And I said, oh, come on.
That's women, huh?
Boarding.
Always,
Man.
yeah, it's always
You wife
always
the
us,
right one.
women, always women.
And then I decided to do it. So I made a channel. I created it. I made a very quick short, just saying that I was planning on buying it, or better, I made the order. And then a couple of weeks after, I was with the car and I started the channel. And we are making now 3 months in the channel, and it's growing very well. So it's being fun. I'm having fun. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's a nice story. Yeah, I don't even. For me, so 11 years with the Tesla. I bought Tesla when I was in Germany at that time, and you can imagine 11 years ago, not many people knew what electric cars are. Less people even knew what Tesla is in Germany, especially a super petrol head country. Okay, And
they're mad.
but I've been following Tesla since 2009. I think when I saw the sketches of Model S, the first concept designs, and I used to be a trader in Germany, and I had 5 screens at work, and all 5 screens had a Tesla concept car on them. And all my colleagues, of course, being German, or many of them being German, walked by my desk, stopped, and said, "What is this?" And I said, "It's Tesla electric. That's the future." 2009, literally, or 10. I don't know, maybe 2010, something like that. And I'm like, "It's a future. It would be a great car." And they're like, "Oh my God, Artur, you should buy an Audi. Okay, this is a golf car. This will never be real. It will break after 2." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. It's an amazing car. Elon Musk will make it happen." And and then I didn't have any chance to buy the car at that time. It was not sold in Europe at all. And when it came to Europe, they had first stores in Netherlands, and that's where I said to my colleague, "Hey, let's go and test drive it." So we booked a test drive, and we went there. And when I test drove the car, I fell in love. I mean, honestly, it was a spaceship. It still is a spaceship in comparison to most of the other cars on the road. But 11 years ago, it felt like I'm in the future. It literally felt like I'm in the future. So yeah, then fast forward, I was able to buy it in like 2016, 15, 16, 15, 14. I don't remember. Yeah, 14. So I was able to order it and then received it. And yeah, I was happy driving it for 11 years. Fantastic car. No problems at all. Enjoyed every single day of that car. But as someone who aspires to new technology, I always looked around, and probably 3 years ago, I started to notice a lot of Chinese EVs.
Yeah.
And I was looking into them, obviously started to follow a lot of channels about it. And I do speak Russian. I'm originally from Ukraine, from East Ukraine. I do speak Russian, so I follow a lot of Russian channels. And in Russia, obviously, because of the sanctions, they banned Western companies, or Western companies banned themselves, and then like the whole thing. And they started to buy Chinese cars and make reviews of them. So for me, it was easy because on the English-speaking internet, there was not much. People didn't know what EVs are, but in Russia, there was a lot of people buying EVs from China, and there was a lot, and it still is. There's a lot of content about them, right? And I was consuming that content. I was like, "Wait, this is great cars. These are amazing cars." And I started to follow some Chinese channels and things like that. And I was doing research. And for me, the choice was, I'm in Czech Republic, in Prague. And for me, the choice was, okay, what can I buy here? Obviously, I wanted to think about this.
The Xiaomi.
The Xiaomi SU7.
The great one. Yeah.
Fantastic car. But they're not sold in Europe officially, and I would have to import it. Now, I found people who could help me to do that. I could order the car, and I was ready to do that. But then I thought, having troubles of like the SIM card and updates, that could be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
And then obviously I was looking at cars like Zeekr, which were in Europe, Neo. I test drove several Neos, ET7, ES6 or EL6 in Europe. Great cars. And then I was sorry.
BID probably.
BYD no. BYD I don't test. I love what they're doing. They're fantastic, but the design language is not mine. I don't know. Some cars are really nice, but some cars, like inside especially, it's too much of stuff happening there.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, BYD I didn't look at, but Neo I liked a lot. And then I knew about XPeng, but somehow I didn't realize that they are in Europe too. And then I checked that they are in Europe. They are obviously not in Czech Republic, not Neo. Nothing is in Czech Republic so far. And then I looked at the price ratio, because Neo is quite expensive. And I looked at the price ratio of what G9 offers in terms of charging performance, consumption. I love the design of G9. It's fantastic looking car, in my opinion. Fantastic.
It does look like a
looking
boss car.
And yeah, and then I said, okay, it's there in Germany. The nearest dealer is like 350 kilometers away from me. We talked with the wife, and I called them, and they say, "Oh, wait, you're calling from Czech Republic? What the hell? What's wrong with me, man?" And I said, "I don't know. I just want to. Can I? Yeah, I want to buy it." And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So we drove there. I just drove the car, or we just drove the car with the family. Liked it. I actually initially wanted to buy a white one.
Okay.
And then I went to a dealer. I saw the black one standing outside. I said, "Oh my, that's love. It's love on the first sight. So I have to have a black one." And I end up again with a black car as my Tesla Model S, and that's basically it. So I own now the only one XPeng in Czech Republic. There's no other cars in Czech Republic. The first XPeng was mine. They're actually coming officially to Czech Republic by the end of the year. They're building the dealerships right now. I'm in contact with their manager, regional manager, who's kind of doing that, but they're still not here. So yeah, I'm the lonely warrior here, lonely XPeng warrior here.
Yes, and you love it. You love being unique.
I love it. Listen, I loved it with the Tesla. The Tesla, when I bought it in Germany, no kidding, so many smiles on people's faces this brought to me. So many amazing conversations it brought to me. I was on the street parking, and people were like, "Why it's so quiet? What's happening here? You know, like, what is this?" And then when I was charging, people were like, what is happening? Like, you know, on the first superchargers, because it was super rare. Like, there's several 10 superchargers across all Germany, and even to meet someone on supercharger was an event. You normally drove and you met no one. And then if suddenly someone was there, you're like, "Hey, hello," we just hugged and we exchanged business cards and all of this stuff. So not credit cards, but business cards. But literally, it was an amazing club of people, to kind of like-minded people to meet. And I think XPeng gave me this vibe with an amazing technology, because, you know, the car is actually technologically advanced.
But you know, the 80% of my Sentry mode activations are
people. Same here. I had 2 today. I was parked in city center, and the guy was like, "Whoa!" walking around the car, looking in the phone, and search. Exactly the same. But Shodah, tell us your story. How did you get to EVs?
No, I was just gonna soak in the fact. I want to know where Tesla went wrong, because we had you 11 years with the Model S.
I'll tell you.
And then
simple.
we got you bought one. You bought one. You know, you had the opportunity to get a Tesla, but you went XPeng instead. Did they get too comfortable with what is there no innovation?
They did.
Or?
I can tell you, first choice was Tesla, right? We went to a Tesla store here in Prague, and we looked at Model X, because we wanted a little bit bigger car. We have 2 kids; they grew up, so we wanted a little bit a bigger car. So we looked at Model X, and then obviously me being consumed for 3 years in a Chinese car content, you know. In my mind, I was already living with a fridge and massage and all of this stuff in my car.
Yeah.
And then I look at the Tesla, and then Tesla. So I know my 11. You know, Shodah, you've driven in my Tesla. You know how the car is.
That's what sold me to EV.
Yeah, and I sat down in the new Model X, which costs 120,000 euros. I just want to say it out loud. Yeah, 120,000 euros. It's a nice car. But I sat down and nothing has changed. Basically, nothing has changed inside the car. It's the same car as almost I own. And I said, well, so wait a second. That doesn't make sense. It just, I'm not ready to pay the money. First of all, I don't have so much money. But second of all, not ready to pay that money to actually get almost the same what I've got today without any upgrade of the comfort, features, future-proofness, and things like that, right? And that was basically a very quick decision. I would not have bought Tesla for sure, because it would have been either Neo, because Neo is a really nice car, or now XPeng, because it even offers even more for less, and it looks cool. So that was my simple stuff.
Yeah, in my case, it was also very similar to that. So the first time that I entered in a Tesla was in a Uber. And so as a passenger in the back seat on a Model Y. Yeah. And I felt empty. A lot of space, but nothing to see. It's just a screen. So I didn't get any feeling from the car. So it was very, strange. But then when I test drove, it was the first EV that I drove. It was a Tesla. Normal Model 3 perfectly normal. But coming from an ICE car, coming from a diesel car, the immediate power that you feel in the car,
the surge.
it's crazy. It's crazy. You spend 2 days imagining, yes, I want that. I need that for my life. But then I did a second test drive. And then that feeling was not present anymore because I had it before. So for me, that is clear. Okay, it's powerful. Perfect. Let's see the rest. And the rest, it's not much. So missing stalks, missing information in the front of me. So only the touchscreen. So I felt very empty. I was not enjoying
it. Does feel like an unfurnished apartment.
It's technological, but it's not technological enough, to be honest, right? Because and also I have to say, as a Tesla, I love Tesla. Tesla will stay in my heart forever. It is going to change my life literally. And I love Tesla, but the build quality, come on. I was looking at Model X in this Tesla store, right? The one which we were then test driving. And I saw the gaps on the panels and stuff like that, which didn't actually got worse. My car had better build quality than these cars. And I said to myself, like, am I ready to struggle and even pay like 90,000 for a lower spec Model X to get this without all this technology and no massages, nothing? I'm not ready to do that. It's it is not enough. It's not enough. And Tesla got a little bit lazy. I do think that it got a little bit lazy. And now we see the results of it. The sales of Tesla are declining.
Two sales declined. You went somewhere else with better quality.
I mean, I was the perfect customer for Tesla. I was the perfect customer for Tesla.
Right. It's crazy. It's like you think because you're in that ecosystem, you'd be in that ecosystem.
Man, I got used to Tesla so much. 11 years. I would if the car would offered me what I wanted, I would have bought maybe not like the most expensive Model X, but the lower spec Model X. I would have bought it because it's a great car. But I didn't, and that's it's unfortunate. It's the way it is. But the competition, I guess, that's the way of life. So Shodah, tell us your how did you get to? Because for you it was like pretty spontaneous. Like I remember you're like, I'm looking at this car, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Well, for me, it's just all about timing because English people, British people are very hard to change their ways. So they're all used to diesels, petrols, and everyone I speak to is like, "Oh, do you need a push? Should I get my battery charger out? I bet you can't go 10 miles without needing to charge it." And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, sarcasm, I get it. But it was timing. So when I was looking, because all this hate with Elon Musk, all the prices just, and I mean, for me, I come from a range of like fast cars. I'm a biker as well, so like 1,000cc sports bikes. I know I like speed. Bit of a weird addiction, but I do like speed. And to get anything near as similar in speed, technology, not a single thing touches the Model 3 performance in England. I mean, this one was sub 15,000. The one I bought, one I picked up.
It's an amazing price. Like I bought used, and you bought you get a great deal. Like you got a fantastic deal.
And it's the equivalent like petrol. You're talking 50, 60,000 at least. It just makes sense. I've halved my electric bill because now I've got electric. I'm on a special tariff, so it basically pays for itself with the saving, and it's just insane. Acceleration is just insane. Every time I put my foot down and my daughters are in the back, I just get giggles. Do it again. Like, no, this is a 30 mile an hour zone.
Okay, I did this in the Model S, but now I can tell a routine of my kids, okay?
Yeah,
they were actually against changing to anything else than Tesla. They loved Tesla, okay? And then when I was like, XPeng, they're like, oh, no, Daddy, no, XPeng, please, no, Neo. Like, we want Tesla. And then we bought XPeng. I said, guys, relax. It's a very comfortable car, okay? And then we bought XPeng, and then they tried massage. And now, I'm not kidding, they jump into the car faster than they are able to sit their butt on the seat. They're already screaming, hey, XPeng, turn on the massage. I'm not kidding. both of them, and I hear nothing from the back. They just sit there quietly, and I just only hear this classical massage sound.
It sounds like you need to set up an action when the rear doors open. It just turns on automatically.
X combos.
Oh.
You can do it, and that's another thing. These are the things which XPeng, a new app is amazing. The beta. I don't know if you tried it, Hugo. The new beta.
No.
It's I have to say, like, they've such a redesign and such a thoughtful redesign. Look at this app. Look at all those things.
Yeah, it's different.
And here, with X combo, to maybe Hugo, you are the best to explain what X combo is, what it is.
So X combo is let's call it like almost a programming language. Okay, so it's building blocks to automate your car. So basically, you can just use triggers or you can use triggers or conditions. Let's call it like that, and then the car will execute some actions. So you can imagine as a Tesla user, for instance, you have, for instance, dog modes in your car. And that is just available on your touchscreen. You click there and it will happen a couple of things to activate dog mode. We can create dog modes, cat modes, bed modes, whatever mode we want. And my mode can be different than your mode. So
that's cool.
It's completely open. So you can...
And it's shareable. People share those things among each other. This is so cool.
The XPeng social network.
It's like it is. It's like
Yeah.
if this then that. If this website with does like if this then that. It's exactly this for the car. Like you can literally say if I drive into that street right in this location, turn on air. I think this could be done as well, right? Turn on the
locations. No,
locations on.
You don't have triggers for locations.
Okay. No,
That'd be
locations yet.
sick though. If I arrive home, turn on lights, or you know what I mean, sort of thing.
Yeah. But in general, like you can literally do like if I leave the car. So for example, some people are doing if I leave the car as the driver, but the passenger seat is occupied, don't lock it or don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. So that nothing that the air conditioning is all these things, and it's done automatically. Like I have this Sentry mode thing where if I leave the car and lock it, because normally you have to turn on this camera mode all the time manually. But for me, it's now doing automatically. So now every time I lock the car, the camera recordings of all the cameras are starting to record automatically. And then you can do a lot of this kind of stuff. So.
In my case, because I have a detached house and I have a surveillance also in my house, I have the exact same thing. So the automation for the Sentry to activate it automatically. But if it is at my home, because I have it plugged in the charger, it will not activate.
Nice. Yeah, that's amazing. And he can share it with me. He can create a link or a QR code, send it to me. I'll scan it with my XPeng app, and then I have it as well. And it's just like what? Like if I show you, like here,
that's insane.
Here, look, here are all the combos in XPeng app which people are sharing.
Can they trigger external apps as well, or is it just internal?
No.
Can you like link it up to like Smart Life, for example, to control Wi-Fi devices?
No, it's just in a car. All the functionalities of the car. And today, by the way,
I wish I had that.
First time ever, I today tried the Apple CarPlay. I mean, I love XPeng infotainment system. It's perfect. Design is great. Everything's fine. But I wanted to try it, and it always asks me like, "Do you want Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay?" I said, "Okay, Apple."
Oh, is it wireless? Is it wireless Apple CarPlay?
Yeah, it's wireless. It's wireless.
Oh.
Android and Apple CarPlay. So I tried Apple CarPlay in XPeng, and boy, this is great. Actually, it's really, really nice. I don't know if you've tried Hugo for.
I have Android.
Try it.
System. So Google Assistant. I use it every single day. It was one of the reasons why I didn't went to Tesla also, because I was very used to Android Auto, because on my previous car, so the system, the infotainment was very basic. Okay. So the only thing that he had, it was wired Android Auto. So I was always on Android Auto using Waze, Spotify, etc. So when I was searching for the EV, Tesla was something that they don't
limited.
have it. So it's limited. It's closed. It's a closed ecosystem.
Yep.
So it was something that I didn't like. And as XPeng was releasing at that moment, so in the beginning of the year, I think, they were releasing then the Android Auto wireless. And I tried it. It worked perfectly. And I said, this is it. And I still use it. But in fact, as the inbuilt system, it's so good that I am in fact moving back to
I'm on their system all the time, but I tried it and I think I will probably. The only thing which I like about the Apple CarPlay is that Zoom, Teams, Microsoft Teams are there, and I do have calls. I do have quite a lot of calls from the car. So if I can do Zoom
That's
calls
true.
from the car, boom. And because I can do the shortcuts of all the apps to my tray. I'm one button away from CarPlay and then to Zoom. Done. Like this is, this just makes life easier. And that's exactly what I was missing also in Tesla. The technology. Tesla is a technological company. I would expect, listen, if you give me bare bones stuff, no massage, okay, I can live without that. But give me the incredible, crazy tech, like give me the full tech inside. And somehow they close it, but they don't add apps, for example, right? They should have worked on many more apps too. I don't know, Shodah, what do you use from the infotainment system in your Model 3? What kind of apps are you using?
myself.
I use
Oh.
Spotify. But I also I use it. It's like Plex, but it's called Jellyfin, and I'm quite surprised that works on the Tesla browser, and it also works when you're driving. So when the kids want to watch something, I'll just open up Jellyfin and it works. That's
Nice.
other than that, and the built-in navigation. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Tesla has great navigation, no question about this.
Yes, that is one of the best I've ever.
Exactly.
I'm normally an Android Google Maps user. I've always have been, but since having that, it's the way that it plots the charges. I think it's just because it's a built system, like a whole, the charging network's all built in. That does help a lot.
Oh, charging.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
How fast can your G6 charge?
250.
250.
Oh.
Okay, that's a lot. Yeah, I'm at 320, and that was something insane. I first time tried it recently at 400 kilowatt charger at Ionity, and I kid you
That's
not,
insane.
I'm used to come with Tesla, plug it in, and go and have a breakfast. I came to Ionity, I plugged the car, I went to order the breakfast. By the time I was ordering the breakfast, when I ordered it, I clicked order and I looked at the car. It was already ready to drive. I was like, damn, okay. Now what do? I eat. Okay, so I ate that the car was already basically ready, just standing there. But that's incredible. 320. That's just nuts.
Yeah, that's one of the videos that I made that was more popular, was a road trip that I made to Porto here in Portugal. It was my first road trip, and I'm very new to EVs. I had already a charger at home when the car arrived. So
Nice.
for me, charging at public networks was crazy. So I was prepared like 5 cards or 6 cards, different cards in my pockets, and then Electroverse also. And I arrived at a station, nervous because I never charge outside. My kids and my wife went to the coffee to have a quick snack, but it was so easy. So it was just plugging the car, putting the charger, it was charging. I went to get them. Then I was making the video. So I went back to the car. And when I arrived, before I said while recording, so I will just charge until 70% because it's enough to arrive. So let's see how long it takes. And then I had to wait until my kids and my wife arrived back. So normal snack, going to the bathroom, and I was with 95%. Yeah. So I was saying, come on, guys, there is no range anxiety.
No, not anymore. And look what they do in China right now. I have a 3C battery, which is 3 times the capacity, so 320. They now have 5C as a standard and 10C as the new 1 megawatt charging capability. And BYD is amazing. They do 2 pistols, so you can come to the charger, put 2 at once, and do like 600 in Europe, because in Europe there are no 1 megawatt chargers. There's no even 500 kilowatt. But if you can support 2 pistols at once, then you can do 800, which is already a lot. I don't know why I would do 800, because my car can charge in 15 minutes to like 75%. Yeah. Like, why would I ever bother? But you know they can do it. If you're in a hurry, you can just plug 2 and then.
I feel like we've got to the point now where like you're going to do 4 hours of driving, you're going to want to stop and just recharge yourself.
Of course, you have to.
It's always the argument 100%. I tell the people. It's like, oh, you got to charge it every time. Like, no, you don't understand. You drive, then you recharge yourself, you get your drink, and by the time you come back, you're at 80-90%, even on my 250 kilowatt charger, even on the slow ones. I don't understand this argument of.
No, there's
like you
no
said,
there's no
range.
argument anymore. It's honestly speaking, the
it's
new batteries
stupidity.
like 5C and 10C are faster than actual fuel pumping. Like you connect and then you're faster getting energy in the car than people getting the fuel into their car.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's insane.
It's
That really is
crazy.
insane.
Like yeah. So wow. Yeah. I mean, so wait, you have 5 kids, you said, or 7 kids? 5.
Yeah, five.
Kids. So you are looking at XPeng X9, right? Do you like the car, or what do you think about it?
Yeah, so the X9, it's great, but the reality is that I had a 7-seater for 8 years, and honestly, for the last 2 years, it's rarely used the 7 seats because kids are getting older, so they prefer to move in a different way. So in fact, I have 5 kids, but I don't go with them all together most of the time. So that's why I decided to go to the G6 in this case, because it was more than enough for us. But yeah, I have 5 kids.
Wow, respect. I have 2, and I mean, I tried to double it in +1. That's 12.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a true respect. Okay, so Shodah, how are your initial thoughts about like driving a Tesla? Because you bought it and you drove immediately. You did a huge long trip from UK to Germany for work for Somnium. But like, what are your initial impressions, generally? Like, how are you satisfied with?
What got me the most was just the how easy it is to get used to. Because I was expecting like a good solid month of getting used to where everything was, but I mean, I guess traveling all that distance to Germany helps a lot. But the level of tech, the autopilot, I think saved my life a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie, I might have dozed off a few times.
100% for me as well.
Yeah, it's just effortless. It's made. I think what Tesla's done is trickled down into the Chinese market, and that's made. They've took driving and actually improved it over. You know, you look at like the Volkswagen or Audi. What have they done to really take it and then make it better instead of just making it more flashy? EVs have seemed to just, I don't know, just fixed a lot of things that were just so obvious now I think about them.
Yes.
And I don't think I'll ever go back.
Impossible.
To
no, I don't think it's no way. I cannot imagine. I didn't even think about ICE cars. The only option for me where I would thought about it, there was one more car, or actually 2. One is Li Xiang. I don't know if you know, Hugo, what the car is. L8, L9, L7. Great looking car, fantastic interior, and the tech is interesting because they do this parallel, the hybrid, which doesn't spin the wheels, so it doesn't have the transmission, doesn't have all this stuff. It just has one motor, which is a generator and charges your battery. So the battery is basically half of what I get in G9, but it's still big, so you can still drive, I don't know, 150 miles, maybe 130 miles per one charge. But then you have a generator which can generate you another 250 miles or something like that, or 300 miles or something like that. And that is interesting because to me that would be like, okay, I would never use ICE and engine, maybe only if I go really, really long distances, and even then I would still stop probably every 2 hours and charge the car. So I would not bother. So Li Xiang, but they don't sell here. And then another car is Voya from Dongfeng.
We have that here.
Yeah, they recently entered Czech Republic officially, and Voya Free we looked at it. Why I didn't like it much, but it's a nice car. It's a nice looking car. It's for good money, and it has this parallel hybrid. So it has the same system. Crazy popular car in like Russia and stuff, and obviously in China as well. But Voya was interesting. So that was another option as a backup to get this parallel hybrid, and I think it's a good combination because you don't get all this complexity of transmissions and stuff. They always put this very simple 20 years old designed motor, 1.5 gasoline, and it's the same motor, very easy to service. Every serviceman knows how to service that motor, and it just generates power. It just spins at a optimal speed, not overreacting, and it just, you don't hear it. Like when I was driving, I pushed the car, and somewhere in the very distance, I heard like a little bit of, it started to work, but then it just comes. So that is actually good in between technology. And Chinese are all over that technology. They love it. More and more cars like Huawei and other cars are appearing with this technology.
There's a key word you just said there, and that's service. And that's another thing that's like took me by like, what? How the only serviceable item on mine is the tires, fair enough, and a cabin filter.
Great. Same for my Model S.
How?
When I had it. Yeah.
How did I can't. I was explaining to my parents because I took my mother out into it, and she's she was a secret speed demon, but when she didn't get any reaction out of a full acceleration in a Model 3 Performance, I was like, "Oh, you can't fool me now, love. I know exactly what kind of woman you are." So she's been hammering my dad because they've got a little diesel Kia, lovely little car, 10 years old, and they've been talking to me like what kind of an EV to get. Obviously, I said, look at Tesla, but in England, MG is the second
MG
biggest.
is good, yeah.
And I've tried the MG 4X Power, and they're all the same inside. And I said, look at one of these. And then they came to me and went, "Oh, who do we take to service the motors? Where do we service it?" And when I said to them, "You don't. You don't." They were just. They're old.
What?
They just couldn't comprehend it.
Yes.
And I think that's the massive like underselling on EV's part, that there is it's the cheapest.
Yeah.
Nicest
and no
things
brakes.
you can
No
drive.
brakes. When I had a gasoline car, Honda, I had a like sport type S Honda, nice car, loved it, my first car. But every year I was changing brakes. It was 450 euros. I'm like, bloody hell.
When pedals dry. Yeah.
It's 11 years old Tesla. I didn't even consume half of the brake pads. There's still original brake pads on that car. What?
Yeah, most of them are just replaced because they are broken. Not because they were used. It's because they calcified or something like that. And they need to be maintained because of that. So it's not because of use. It's crazy. Yeah, and if for me at least, again, I'm still very new and recent for EVs, and it was like one day to get used to one pedal drive. It's not more than that. Driving, it's very easy.
Crazy as well.
And in fact, we are not using the brakes anymore with that. So most of that with XPeng, you need to put your feet on the brake to completely stop the car.
It's this. For me, it was no change because my Tesla, 11 years old, didn't have one pedal driving. So I've always had to put in the end a little bit of brake. So I went from what I'm used to what I'm used to. Nothing changed for me. It's perfect. It's exactly the same.
I like it in that way. So I don't know why everybody's saying, "Oh, come on, one pedal."
China banned it and they're right, because people, when they use one pedal all the time, they got used to not use brakes, and then in emergency situations they press the gasoline instead of brakes, and that is smart. Like they think a lot because they have much more EVs than we have. So they have statistics, and they see the statistics, and they said, no, you have to use brakes from time to time so that your brain is wired in the right way. And I don't mind.
Make you lazy.
I'm fine with that.
Because it's happened to me as well. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, X-Pedal is great. It works. It's what I want.
Can your Xpengs do because this is one feature that I think all EVs should have, but Tesla doesn't for some reason. Can you guys do vehicle to load?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can charge a Tesla.
I know. I was just, the MG had it, and we wanted to do a load more camping. I was like, we can just plug. And then when I researched Tesla, for some reason, just
I don't understand.
Not included.
Yeah,
that there were some tests also, I think, in China that they were able to use Xpengs for vehicle to grid also.
Yep. Wait. They are already live with XPeng in Australia. I saw the video recently. So it's live, and it's game changer actually, because in your case, Shodah, if you would have vehicle to grid, you can use power back and forth. Like for you in Portugal would be cool because you just had the blackout recently.
Yeah.
And then you would just power your home, and you can power for 2 days. You can power from one battery charge. Like you wouldn't even notice that there is a blackout. It would be just running AC and dishwasher and whatever, and everything would work. And your car would just be consuming or supplying your house. It's fantastic.
Yeah, my battery is 66 kilowatt. So I usually spend 20 per day at home.
Yes, 3
So
days.
I could power 3 days of energy at my full house with AC, everything with my car. So
Well, is that something is that like just a small accessory you can buy to put back into your house?
Yeah, there is a AliExpress 20 euros dongle.
What? For Tesla to do it, you have to spend like 11 grand on a power wall, and I'm thinking, but I have the battery already.
Wait. No, it's different.
Oh, is it different?
We are talking about the adapter that needs to be plugged in the car. Okay, so to retrieve, so it's called a discharger from the car. So it takes the energy out of the car. But to power the house, then you need to have an off-grid solution at your solar system. Okay, and that's what the Powerwall of Tesla does. It's an off-grid solution that is combined there. Okay. So if I was going to use a vehicle to grid using my XPeng, so my XPeng could be an extra battery, okay?
All right, yep.
But then I have to have in my house on my solar system a battery pack that could be used as an off-grid solution.
Yeah, you can just buy the smallest one, the cheapest one, and then use the car as the main source of energy. Even Ford EV Lightning is doing it. Ford EV Lightning, the big pickup truck in US, it has huge battery, like I think 150 or 160 kilowatt hours, and it supports a vehicle to grid. So it's not like Tesla is like they know how to do it. I don't know why then. And it's the same question. Why is Tesla not putting massages in their seats? I'm sorry to be that guy, but it costs them nothing. It costs them nothing. And I would pay for that feature. I would tell them like, charge me 1,000 euros for premium package or something. I would give you that money. But can you offer it to me, please? Because it's a fantastic feature. I'm literally not a single drive I do without massage. Not a single drive anymore. I call me whatever, but I'm in love with that feature. It's incredible, especially in the morning after I sleep when I'm driving kids to school. The waist massage. Oh my god, it's what it paid off already. All this, all the whole car. I'm ready to do this 10 years in a row. No problem. I'm ready.
Have you guys got heated and cooled seats?
Yes,
ventilated.
I do.
Yeah.
Hugo, do you have massage as well? Do you have massage?
No. The G6 doesn't have massage.
Oh, G6. Okay.
I am getting I am getting jealous about that. So.
Okay, sorry. I stopped talking. Okay. It's great.
He disappears for hours. Like, where is he? Oh, I know where he is. He's sat in his car getting a massage.
No, I have to listen. I have to drive my kids from school to hockey training and stuff like that. But nobody said that the traffic jam situations have to be pain. It can be comfortable stuff. You put the autopilot, the music is playing, the massage is working. That's it. That's.
I feel like you sit there and there is a route you could take that's quicker, but you're like.
Okay. I have to tell you the truth. So recently I was driving my kid to ice hockey training, and it's through the whole Prague, different part of the Prague. So like probably 40 minutes drive through traffic jams and stuff. And then we're sitting with my kid. He's massaging himself quiet out there. I'm sitting, listening to the music, massaging. And then the car pops up and it says, Hugo, it says, the faster route was found. Do you want to proceed? I'm like, no, cancel. It's literally, it was an instant decision. Nah, cancel. Don't bother. It's okay. So yeah, it's great. It's
pretty good. The comfort that we get from these cars, and also including Tesla. So I was not used to that on my Peugeot, of course, and I drove also BMWs, Audi, so a bunch of cars in my life. But this level of comfort it's a game changer, and
it is.
I also spend a lot of time in my car. So I have my car for 3 months. I have already 10,000 kilometers on it. So I do I do drive a lot because of my kids. So again, also taking them to soccer practice and all their stuff. And I do spend a lot of time inside the car waiting for their soccer practice to end. So the amount of time that we spend inside the car today, it's crazy. And the fact that we just drive in the car, the kids are on my side, they are watching YouTube or video or even TV. Because as you know, we can connect an external device to the car and watch TV, for instance. I have it connected, a Xiaomi TV stick connected to the car always. So anytime that I want, or you can imagine the amount of apps that we can have in the car.
Wait, I missed that video, Hugo. Okay. I'm now my eyes are wide open. What? TV stick on the TV car? What?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Just search on the channel. I have one that it's called
God.
wired casting. And you can use one of the USB ports in the car to connect any external service, any external device. You can connect a PlayStation over there.
Oh my, okay. Oh my, okay.
So I tested it with a Xiaomi TV stick, you know, those small lights.
Yeah.
So I have one. So you need to grab a capture card that costs also 20 euros on Amazon.
Yeah.
And you just connect it there and you have it. You just need to command the remote to change and have. Yeah. That's it. And then
That's crazy.
I connected also a Nintendo Switch.
I can connect my Steam Deck to it, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know that
Good.
I sold my Steam Deck about six months ago, and I regret so much now.
Oh my God. Okay, my car now became 2 times better, and I paid nothing for that. What the hell is going on here?
And your G9, you have 2 screens. You can have your kids playing games in the passenger seats with the Steam Deck.
No. They can watch the videos. I can play games while they can drive doing that. I can drive and play the game, and they can watch the video all at the same time. What?
Yeah.
Okay. I have some homework to do. Wow.
I can't do that. I'm sad now.
This
Yeah, you can. You open your browser, and you know, I always make fun with my Tesla friends, because when I showing all the stuff that we do, and they are saying, "Oh, I cannot do." Yes, of course. If you search for playing games in a Tesla, you see browser.
No. You have to tell them, Hugo. You have to tell them. You can open your browser in your Tesla, go to xpeng.com and buy a new car. No, but that's it. That's the point. When that's why I thought about, Neo is actually pretty close ecosystem. But it's overall a great car, great looking car. I like the design of Neo as well. Very nice looking cars. The ES6, the new one, actually looks fantastic too.
Is that the one with the little AI dude who?
Yeah. This
Looks at it,
Xiaomi
yeah.
thing which turns the heads and stuff. Very cool stuff. My
That's
kids
cool.
loved it. But the technology inside those cars, it's just next level stuff. It's working really, really well. It's not like something crazy Chinese. And by the way, I don't know how much. What is the warranty on your car? Because mine got 8 years. I think I got 8 years warranty, right? And 160,000 kilometers.
I think it's 6 years of warranty, and for the battery, 8. I think something like that. I'm not.
Okay, I think for me it's 7 for something and 8 for drivetrains, battery, and electrical something. But anyway,
Well,
it's
something like
too
that.
much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And then 160.
Yeah, 160,000. And Tesla now, I asked them, I said, what is the warranty? And they said, 4 years,
Or
100,000. I said, wait, what?
In Portugal, is 80,000. 80,000
No.
kilometers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, 80. You're right. You're
Wow,
right. 80.
that's
80.
nothing.
Yeah. What is this? When I bought the car, it was 100,000 and 8 years. But I didn't have any problems. But yeah, it's still comforting to know that you have this warranty with the car. And the only caveat is you have to service it every year. Like you have to show up with it one time per year. I'm fine. I was anyway doing it with Tesla, changing filters and all this stuff. So for me, that's again nothing new.
And I saw also that on the service that we have to do every single year, they will change the tires from front to rear. So that was something that usually on Tesla, you had to do it on a service request, but they will do it every single year.
Oh,
At least it was on the. I am trying because of the channel, and because I am now in the middle of the 20,000, and I am already pushing the dealership to tell them that I want to record my first service for the channel. So I need
That's
them
cool.
to make it every single detail that they showed me on a paper that they were going to see. I want to see them doing it.
oh wow. Okay, I want to see that paper actually. Where did you find that paper?
It was provided by the dealership. Let me see if I have it. If I have it, I can.
Yeah, please send it to me.
Because it's probably the same between the countries. So.
I'll probably be the first one to service my car in Czech Republic when they open the new dealership because there's no cars yet to service. I'll show up like, hello.
I was gonna say there's no XPeng like official. There's no dealerships there, is
Nothing.
there? Or is there one?
They're just building ones. They're nothing. It's like I am the only XPeng owner in Czech Republic. Do you know how I know it? Because I registered the first car. It was blocked.
Yeah.
The whole thing was blocked.
I will send you then, but it's here. So it's a list of everything that they
Oh, nice. I will abuse them so much. Very cool. Very good.
There's like a
I'll be
big
there too.
sort of health checklist sort of thing, is it? That they have to-
Yeah. It's something like that. So it says the service intervals and then all the things that they will do on that.
Yeah, I remember early days with Tesla when I bought Tesla. Again, there was not so many drivers of Tesla, and I was there all the time because I also did in the past. My first startup was Easy Charge, which I created the charging station. I don't know if you saw, Hugo, the video I shared where I explained the Easy Charge stuff. So I created a charging station for electric cars, which you put on the ceiling. And then there is a moving arm. It's a 22 kilowatt charger for the garages or for the home. And then you have the moving arm, which moves from one side to another, 180 degrees. So you can accommodate one side or another. And also it's a smart charger, which you can authenticate, and it has a smart camera on top. So it, at the time where cars didn't have so many cameras, the charger when you park was recording and watching, and you could do a lot of stuff. And it even had a projector for some advanced version where you can, when you are not parking, it can project advertisement on the floor
Okay.
in the shopping mall so that people can walk by and you can kind of monetize this up. Because the big part for garages was like, why do I buy charging stations? It's a cost for me, but there's no money making out of it. And we thought, okay, we could provide it. So we were developing this charging station, and I was with Tesla every week. I have a funny story. I told it to Shodah. When I bought a car, I was, one time a week or 2 weeks, I was coming to Tesla to talk to them, and they checked something with the car because they had to change the battery in the beginning because something was wrong. They were learning a lot of things as well with my car too. And every time I came, they took my car, they serviced it, they did something. And after 2 months, I asked my wife, I was like, you know what? We've never changed the water fluid in the windshield fluid in the car. How big is the tank? Then I said, maybe that doesn't have the identifier that it's finished, but I tried. No, the water is still there. I use it. I know I use it. I was like, how is it? And then we were guessing, maybe they have a rainwater drops collector or something. And then I come to Tesla. I kid you not. I come to Tesla, guys. Next time I'm there, I come to them. It's like, guys, just a question. It's 2.5 months since I bought the car. I've not changed once. How big is the tank? I'm puzzled. And they're like, bro, we change it for you every time you came here. I'm like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. so that was but we had a great relationship. It was fantastic. Fantastic life. Yeah, more family time when everybody knew everyone, and so we had really cool stands. I'll probably show some pictures here, Shodah, when we put the video up. We developed a really cool wooden stand to showcase the chargers on the fairs and as an advertisement. And I convinced Tesla to the headquarters to get the permission, and then they rolled back that you can do it, and we had it there for half a year, maybe a year. I don't remember.
Was it like a sculpture sort of thing?
No, it was because it's a ceiling charger, right?
Yeah.
But Tesla store had a huge ceiling. how do you showcase something if you have a ceiling? So we had to build a stand which had a floor, a wooden cool floor, a monitor. So it went like this, and then it went all over your head,
okay.
and on the top was a charger. So you step up, you have the charger, and then you look at the monitor on the running video ad of the charger, and there were places for flyers. So you took the flyers, you could it was really cool, well designed stand, fantastic looking, and it was Easy Charge had red color and black color as their company color, so it fitted perfectly the Tesla store because Tesla was red. Our charger was, it was as if it was a Tesla charger. It looked like it's a Tesla charger. So yeah. But yeah, that was it.
I've got not really a weird question for you two. I don't know if it's just me or if it's like an EV phenomenon. But do you find yourself that you just want to get in and drive for no reason?
Guilty.
Yeah, because I never used to be like that unless it was like a Sunday like afternoon and the sun was blaring, which is like twice a year in England. But yes, cool. I didn't think it was just me or, like I say, like a weird sort of trait of having an EV. Because it feels more than a car now. In a weird way, it feels like now I'm taking my whole entertainment with me, and I can just enjoy wherever. It doesn't matter where I go. I can just enjoy everything. And it's just such a strange.
It's very true.
Such a strange feeling.
It's very true. Same here. I mean, first day I had my XPeng. I went in the evening, everybody went to sleep. I took my car, and I was probably like 1.5 hours digging through the settings, setting everything up. Perfect pleasure. Like, settings simulator.
It's the same. Imagine that I am doing recordings and I am exploring the car because of the recordings. I found many things new, while doing these recordings. And it's crazy because it's fun. It's fun. I just put the cameras today, for instance. I'm just putting my cell phone, my GoPro, and I just drive. And I have everything, so many things to talk about in the car. It's crazy. Every single day, there is something new to show, to explain, that is different from the especially from people that coming from ICE cars. It's so different. But again, I had a conversation with a friend recently because there was an accident with the Tesla with 4 kids inside.
Bloody Teslas.
Not because of the Tesla, but we were talking about EVs because they are dangerous. Because this amount of power that we are talking about, it's crazy when we think that a kid, an 18-year-old kid, gets a car, a performance Tesla, or a Model S, or that, and it's his first car, and he has that amount of power in his feet.
Yeah, it's a bit too much.
It is, but I drive now on eco mode. I have to say, massage made me drive so slow. My average speed is very low. My consumption is super low. I'm getting old, I guess. I don't know, but I'm just enjoying these things. Even though my car right now is faster than my Tesla Model S.
Yeah,
I've never driven on sport mode yet. I've yet to do it. I didn't even try it because I didn't need to have. But they did smart thing here because this car has 1.3 thousand horsepower. Okay, just saying. So what they did is they only allow you to unlock that power on driving tracks. They have GPS coordinates of all driving tracks, and they unlock it. The base model or the base power you get is 900 horsepower, which is crazy already. But to unlock that, you need to first drive 300 kilometers before they unlock you this power. So they made it small. It's kind of smart too. Like I like the thinking of Xiaomi. It's like this forward-looking thinking of those companies. Very young, very energetic. I mean, Xiaomi is a giant, but very energetic companies, and they really think through. Like when I go into the XPeng menu, I feel like they thought through those things. Yeah. It's this kind of stuff. It's for us, we are in Somnium Space designing UIs for users to use stuff inside our VR virtual reality world. And also we think about like, okay, if we click here, what do the user do? What's the user story? You know, like how do the user get to this point? You have to think about it, and a lot of work goes into it. Too much work actually goes into it, and XPeng is doing a great job so far, I have to say. Tesla also did a good job with their menus.
Yes, they have a very good infotainment also. Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys feel the same? I drove one day in a highway, and I was just going with the flow, listening to music, my thoughts. And I realized without self-driving, so I was driving myself. And then suddenly I just looked at the speeds I was going, and it was around 150. Because the car is so smooth, it's so quiet,
Super quiet.
so
Absolutely quiet.
it's crazy. And I was just looked at it. Oh,
Yes, that's why I always drive an autopilot.
yeah.
Because I'm afraid like G9 is probably double or half of the noise what Model S inside was. So it's super quiet. And obviously with massage and stuff, I don't trust myself, because if I drive, I just will go with the flow as you said. And then you are suddenly at 150 and police will say like, hey, what's your problem? So
It's crazy. It's crazy.
how often do you use autopilot, by the way? All of you. Like, what do you guys on average? Like, what do you say? One thing, before we talk about autopilot, one thing I want to say is when you said we spend a lot of time in our cars, I calculated on like approximately with my Model S across 11 years, I spend one full net year inside my car. Now think about it. 1 year of my life I spent sitting behind the driving wheel. Yeah, I will take care to choose a great car for myself. Of course, I will put a lot of effort and in research. Like, I don't get people who are like, I'll buy something, whatever. Just give me, No, it's where you spend a lot of. It's safety. It's your comfort. It's big part of your life. It's like with a bed. You need to have a good bed, otherwise, like you're sleeping half of your life, basically.
A year's a long time.
1 year. 1 year. Can you imagine? Net time 1 year inside a car. Wow. It's what?
It's
when
crazy.
I calculated it, I said, no, it cannot be right. Yeah, it is right. And my mind was blown.
You hear this, Tesla? He spent a whole year driving your Model S, and he went to XPeng.
And I still love
Just
Tesla.
saying.
I love every day I spend in my Model S. I love it. I loved it. I have nothing bad to say about Tesla Model S. Definitely saved me a few times from crash. Not because I was stopped, but because it saw a thing that's faster than I realized that someone was braking to the limit, and the car started braking before I started braking. So that helped, and many other situations where the car just did this thing. But let's talk about autopilot, because that's where Tesla could actually shine. You are more into it, Hugo. What is the situation with autopilot? Because in China, XPengs can already drive themselves.
On city.
Yes. But in Europe, we get the what is called what are these on the bottles? The bottle caps. That's all right. Yeah. We have the bottle caps thing. But how do you see the autopilot situation with XPeng? What are your thoughts?
So I will be very honest. I still think that XPeng Autopilot is a couple of steps behind Tesla, for instance, because it is still not good enough, at least for me. Okay. Again, I don't have much experience, but the way that I drive, the way that I feel comfort while driving, when I activate self-drive on the XPeng, it does the things that it needs to do. So ACC, so adaptive cruise control, the LCC, keeping you in the lane, the auto lane change. It's
fantastic,
amazing. It works very well. The control inside the lanes, also if you are a little bit distracted and you go a little bit over, it pushes you back. So it's okay. Amazing thing. But on the self-drive, if you are in a highway at 120, you will be getting nauseous faster, because the car is always bumping and slowing down on the curves, because it is very cautious. I think the car is very cautious with the turns. If you drive at 100, it's perfectly fine. I am doing a video now, so it's a disclaimer. So I am doing the exact same highway, the same route, 20 kilometers, and I am pushing it with 100, 110, and 120. I did already 100 and 110, and I can say that 100 is perfect, no problem at all. 110 already some slowdowns, and I don't know if I will be able to do it today, the 120, but I can imagine that it will be slowing down many times. Many times.
Does G9 and G6 share the same autopilot technology, or?
I think so. The topic here is that I am using a highway that is a complex one. So it's a highway here in Portugal with a lot of turns. It's a difficult one, okay? But I am testing the system. So if I go to test a turn, a slowdown in a turn in a highway that doesn't have turns, it's not a test, right? So I need to go, and I did search for a highway with a lot of turns. Some turns that even the speed limit is 100, but myself and everybody else can do it at 120 without any problem. So I am trying to see what the car can do. And it is a fact that, so there are a lot of people complaining about the slowdowns of the XPeng autopilot. So it was something that was a little bit fixed on this last release, okay? So this 5.6, it was one focus of the update was that, but it's still not good enough, at least for me. So answering to your question, I do self-drive if I am without any need to go and reach some place. So when I'm driving at 100, 110, I do activate it and I just flow with it. But if I need to go and drive as I usually do at 120, 130, I do not use self-drive because it's not comfortable. You are just like this in the car, so it's not comfortable for me.
Okay, interesting. So for me, it's a little bit different because I went from Tesla 11-year-old, but I had version 1 autopilot in that car.
Okay.
Which on highway performed really well. In the traffic jam, super cool. Like it again, it's LCC, ACC, all this kind of stuff. But for me overall, the experience is my G9 is better than my Tesla was. So for me, it's an improvement over what I had, especially the lane changing things. Lane changing works really well, I have to say. And one of the biggest improvements here is for me and that is actual real safety here to me, because it's everyday drive, especially in the city. The car is always watching around. And the moment I put the turn signal on, when I want to do some maneuver, it already knows that something is approaching and immediately notifies me. That already saved me a lot of times in the city where I even didn't need to start driving in and stop abruptly, because at the moment I did the turn signal, it already beeped at me and indicated the car with a red that something is coming from the back. It even did it for the cyclist when I was doing the turn. I was unparking myself and I turned the signal. I saw the cyclist, but when I turned the signal, it immediately showed me the cyclist, like it was approaching from the back, and it was red, blinking red, and it's like, I was like, that's cool. That's really, really cool, because that's what I didn't have in Tesla. And I don't know, Shodah, how does it work in Tesla? Does it give you this kind of beeps and beeps that people are approaching, cars are driving, that you or not?
Yes, it's sometimes a little bit too cautious with that around cyclists and pedestrians. But it goes beep, 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 beep. It's like, and it shows you that someone's there.
Nice.
That's
important, because that could be a difference between life and death for some people, actually. But I just want to say the autopilot. So I drove on a highway one time 400 kilometers, so 200 to some new factory and then back, and I enjoyed it. Like it. One time I had to slow down next to the truck, so the car I was approaching the truck.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it. My Tesla did the same.
Okay.
And I was ready. I'm kind of the veteran, the autopilot 01 version veteran. So I was ready, but that was one time only. All the rest times I passed during the 400 kilometer drive, I was very comfortably driving 130. That's the Czech Republic limit. And I was driving 130 and I didn't have any big problems. Like I actually enjoyed it. So I will be testing more. Obviously, I'll be doing some other trips and stuff. But so far so good. But actually, because I heard that the XPeng had to rewrite this software for Europe, because in China I saw continuous videos of XPeng G9 driving from A to B in the city by itself, no touches, no problem. So it's possible and it's capable of doing it, but somehow in Europe we are not getting the goodness here from
From what I heard, there was also a rewrite of the code, because in Europe you have a lot of turnarounds. They don't have turnarounds in China, most of the places. So they had to redo the software because they were not used to have the car going around in circles.
Yes.
It was brilliant.
Okay, one thing I'm jealous actually from the Chinese functionalities, which they also use, I know that in Russia they use it a lot, is that when you go into the garage, if you're doing the same garage all the time and you're going to the same space, you can record the route, and then it will drive itself on that route and park at that spot by itself, because it knows where it has to go and roughly knows how you did it in the first place. But then it uses all the sensors to do it correctly, to let people through, to let cars and stuff like that. That is a fantastic feature, and it works really, really, really well. I would use it all the time. I'm parking sometimes in the garage here. I can do it myself, but if I can press the button and just do whatever I want and the car just does it, especially in these narrow things, I trust the car more than myself. For sure.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do narrow things in autopilot.
Yeah, but I don't know. Narrow things are actually good. Like in the narrow, when there's construction on the road and they do have this 2.1 meters things on the highways, I always use Tesla Autopilot because it was perfectly holding to the same distance from both sides. Whether I was like, okay, am I all right? We're sometimes, especially when you're near a truck. I was always trying to get the autopilot, so it centers the line perfectly. But
how is it with Tesla right now on the self-drive? Because I remember that previously, if you were doing the lane change or if you overtake the system, then you would have to activate again the self-drive, right? There was also a guy selling the sexy buttons and stuff like that, the sexy commander, so that it would overtake that and activate again the self-drive, right?
I love it at XPeng.
It is automatic.
You just disengage autopilot, you go to another line, and then you let the steering wheel, and it just turns on the autopilot by itself back. Oh my God. Game changer. Okay, game changer.
When you guys were saying like auto lane change, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, in Tesla now you have to you can buy an upgrade called enhanced autopilot, which it will then do it, but it's like £3,000. But on standard autopilot, you have to turn and then put it back on, and it is a bit annoying.
The one game changer which could happen is
Very
the full
annoying.
self-driving when you'll get it. If you'll get it in Europe.
I don't think we'll ever get it because we've had full self capabilities in the car for how long? Since 2019, and it's still not a thing. It's still not a thing in England. They're too frightened. I mean, to be fair, it can't do roundabouts. It gets so confused at roundabouts. It'll just like jerk stop. Like, what's going on?
All cars are
it's a roundabout. It gets so nervous around roundabouts. So I don't know if it's got just some more software to fix on that end, but I can't see it being a thing for another 5 years, 4 years. There's just not enough interest.
With Tesla, they released the beta or alpha to some certain people, right, in the US. And then you see all those videos of people driving, but it's only a certain amount of people. It's not all of them, right? It's just some people getting that function. But apparently it's amazing. Like on the videos, you can see it. The same in China. If you look at Huawei cars.
Part to part,
What's really annoying is I could buy the full self-drive here, but it won't work. It wouldn't.
No, it won't. Yeah, it won't be the full self-drive.
6,800. No, it is full self-driving capability. Auto lane change, auto steer on cities coming soon. So it's just like, why offer it? I don't.
Because money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
enhanced autopilot's now 3,400. That was 2,500 when I bought mine. That's gone up £1,000 nearly.
Oh wow!
What?
You just bought the
When-
car. Wait,
I
what?
know.
Okay.
No,
And even with the enhanced autopilot, if I'm not mistaken, for the lane change, you need to activate the lane change. So not only the stalk, but you need to initiate the lane change. With
Oh, do you?
XPeng, you don't need to.
Yeah,
But
with XPeng,
in
I
it-
just indicate.
in XPeng
yeah.
is like the whole autopilot package. It comes with
It's
it.
included. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
included.
that's
Everything is
great.
included. Yeah,
That's really good.
and not okay. One crazy story. Recently, I was in Italy for the business trip. And I was in my Tesla still, and we were chatting with some people there, and then the guy says, "Yeah, I have a Nissan Leaf." And we were chatting, and I was like, "Oh, I know why we started chatting about it." So I said we were finishing the meeting, and it was hot outside, and I said, "Oh, let me cool my car." So I turned on my air conditioning, best feature ever, remotely, right?
Yeah.
I turned on the cooling. He said, "You drive Tesla," and then so he said, "I have Nissan Leaf," and then he said, "By the way, I tell you the funny story. I also have this preconditioning thing, but they've put it behind the paywall." I said, "Wait, what?" He said, "Yeah, I cannot use it anymore. I have to pay like 10 euros per month to Nissan to unlock this feature." I said, "What? Excuse me? Like, what the hell?" This is to me an absolute no-go. Like, if the company does it to me, I will complain to a CEO or whatever, but I will make sure that everybody knows it's crazy. You have this capability, but you cannot turn it on because it's behind the paywall. Like, what is going
Yeah.
on here? And apparently BMW does it as well, where you have the functionality in the car, but you cannot unlock it.
Like heated
Like,
seats and things as well. Yeah.
Heating, seating. What?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Greed.
I'm not surprised that the sales of Audi and BMW in China went 95% down. I'm not surprised, because this kind of stuff, you do it to me once, you never do it to me again. Like, never, ever.
Well, I think they've done the same as Tesla. They've done nothing new. They're just the same. You look at an Audi A1, an A3, A4, A5. They all look the same. They've all got the same kind of style, and it's just. I had an Audi RS5 many years ago, and you look at the
Nice
new
car.
ones. It's like you're the same, just a little bit more angular, and I don't know. They've become lazy.
I think Mercedes did a good job also. The cars are looking great inside.
They
the
are now, yeah.
cars, They
with
are
all the
looking
lighting and.
But have you
yes.
looked at the price?
great. I'm talking about lights.
I'm sorry. I looked at the price tag. Okay, so the XPeng dealership where I bought my car is the Mercedes dealership, which started to sell XPengs in Germany. So while we were preparing the contract or whatever, my kids were running around, and there was an SUV, kind of the size of G9 standing. Okay, and my kids went there, and they were like opening doors and stuff, and then they came to me and they said, "Daddy, the car is 145,000 euros." I said, "No way." I asked the guy who was with me, I said, "Is it true?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's a lot of money for less. Yeah.
This is crazy." And it
That
has
is
to
that's a
fly.
good line. That is a very good line. That's a lot of money for less. That's perfect.
What?
He said it's a lot of money for less. It's like that's perfect.
Yeah, but for that money, I would expect the car to fly, which XPeng, by the way, can do in China. They actually getting certified right now for the flying cars, which also look fantastic from the design.
Can't wait for Europe not to get that ever.
Nah, I don't know the future where
It's
Europe
not
would allow
safe.
flying cars. I
Yeah.
cannot imagine what should happen for Europe to allow flying cars.
I feel like we're just being held back. They just
We are.
Don't-
We are.
don't.
Yeah.
I get really passionate about it because I'm not even in Europe anymore. But yet we get the scraps. We get the even worse stuff in England now.
I think XPeng is officially in England right now, right? They entered English market.
Yeah. They did.
Yeah, they recently did.
1 month ago, more or less.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I can buy a
Exactly.
brand new. So how much are these? I can get a G6. That's what we got. G6.
Yeah, G6. Yeah. How much?
40
How much do you want in pounds?
40,000. Brand new.
By the way, in China they're 25.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You getting get,
Thanks, government.
I
Sorry.
get so much angry. I get so angry when I hear this.
Understand.
They're like, oh, this is more premium car. It's pretty more expensive. It's like 37,000. I'm like, shut up. 37,000 premium car. Like what?
Yeah.
I think like G9 in China is like 39, right, or something like that. Absolute
Very
nuts.
cheap. Yeah.
What?
It's crazy.
Oh my god. I don't even want to know the prices. They're like, oh, that's more expensive. That's 42. I'm like, 42, right? More expensive. Okay, that's so 40 grand, like 40,000 pounds. I think it's definitely a good car for 40,000 pounds. It's a fantastic car for 40,000 pounds. You're getting the full package there, except the massage. Sorry.
Yeah, well, just tasty. So
Massage is it's one of the features. I heard the Chinese saying, because my G9 has this special seat for the wife, this like captain, this fancy thing with the whole, I don't know how it's called. And one guy in the Russian reviewer from China, he said one thing. He said there is a saying in China. He says the wives in China, they decide. Wait, one sec. I have to. They don't decide which car to buy, but they decide which car not to buy. Yeah. And I'm like, that is very smart. I'm like, all right, okay. So a lot of things in my car in G9 is done for the wife. This special makeup mirror with all this the colors, and that you press the button, it puts the wife closer to the makeup thing. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, I want that too. Like, not for the makeup, but I want my captain's chair. But I don't get it as a driver. I'm like just a driver, just a peasant for the wife. So it's okay. Yeah, everybody has the.
But you just need to wait for the new G6 to arrive, and you have the massage also.
Oh, true.
But
yeah,
the new one. Yeah, you will have it.
So in China, nobody's buying cars without massages and fridge anymore. Like, that's literally what I heard. People will not buy the car if it doesn't have fridge and massage. Massage is the standard.
I get massage seats, but fridge is that's a bit strange for me.
Every car right now, every car in China, some of them already have.
Is it like in the center, like in the back center when you pull it down?
It's if it's two, it's in the back center and below your armrest. And if it's one, then it's below armrest, but it's opening to the back seats. And it can cool stuff up to -2 degrees Celsius, and it could heat stuff up to 50 degrees Celsius. So you can have food there preheated for you or cool down. An option is 600 euros, okay? I'm just saying. It's nothing impossible to achieve. It's just a fridge,
in the grand scheme,
which everybody now has. Like, Xiaomi has a fridge, and it's a $35,000 car. Like, it's, Fridge would be cool. I would appreciate. You know why I would love fridge? Because now you put the bottles into like all of these places. But if I had fridge, I would just keep all those bottles in the fridge.
Yes, yeah.
That's just a good place to keep the bottles of the water cooled down, and you just have always fresh water.
You just give me a weird question now, and it's gonna make me sound like a raging alcoholic. I'm not that bad. But when cars get to the point where self-driving is it can do anything.
Oh, whiskey in the fridge.
Can you, would it be classed as drink driving if you
are not driving?
Exactly.
Exactly. So I had one time a police situation in Germany where I was driving on autopilot in Tesla, and actually my father wrote me a message, and I needed to answer him. So what I did is I went from the fast lane between the trucks. They were going 80, and I turned on autopilot. So it's literally like the safest way to do it. I just went between the trucks, turned the autopilot. It was holding the line, holding the trucks, and I was answering him, obviously looking sometimes and answering. And then the police came, and I didn't see them. And they looked at me. I looked at them, and they're like, yeah. And they came and they stopped me. So the guy comes in, and he's like, "You were driving with a mobile phone," and I was like, "But sir, I was not driving. I wasn't out of." But it is at a time where he didn't know what autopilot is. Like, he barely knew what Tesla is. Okay. Yeah. And I said, I didn't. I was driving on autopilot, and he said, I kind of don't care. And I said to him, like, listen, whatever you decide about the fine, I can sit down with me, take your colleague, drive me, and I'll show you how it works. At least I show you how it works, that it's safe and it's actually really, really good. And then you decide if you give me the fine, or maybe you can give me the fine, whatever. I'll just want to show you. He said, no, I don't want to, I don't want to see it. And he's like, give me your ID and stuff. But we had a debate, and in the end of the day, I never got the fine. So he probably didn't go through with that. But he wanted me to give me a 200 euros fine. And he said to me, do you know how many people die with mobile phones in the car? I said, I agree with you, it's horrible, but how many people die with autopilot on and phones in the hands? And then he didn't have any answer for that. So we had a little bit of a debate there, and I never got the fine, so thank God for that. But yeah, it's, with a good autopilot right now, sure, you can watch the phone, like the car is doing.
I mean, I do.
In China, that's what they're doing all the time.
Yeah, on privately owned roads, I do all the time. I'm always just, because I feel so safe, especially on long open roads.
I do sometimes, especially traffic jams or highways where you go like 110, autopilot, everything. I can watch a video on YouTube. Like, definitely, I can do it.
Yeah.
And, it's very, very, like, especially when you're used to it, 11 years, I'm used to it. It's very safe. It's to a point where I know what car can do, what I can push it to, and what I need to be taken care of. And I think that's the synergy right now. Like, you are an operator, right? So you need to know what the car can do and where's the limit. You need to feel the limit. And you cannot overdo stuff, right? You cannot do. You don't need to be stupid. Like, you need to be still aware of the environment. But yeah, listening to the podcast or something. Obviously, I'm not watching a movie, but listening to a podcast where you glance from time to time to the video, but you're most of the time like aware of the surrounding. It's possible. It's definitely possible to do.
I did it already with a soccer match. To be honest, let me be very frank. I was watching TV, soccer match. My team was playing. I just went to the slower lane in the highway, 100 kilometers, activated, and I just...
Yeah, and I don't blame you, because the autopilot is good. At 100 kilometers is perfect. Like, it will not make you crash. You can do anything. It will not crush you. It will stop. It will do... I tested in Tesla once, by the way, when I was driving at night in Germany. Nobody was on the highway, nobody behind, nobody in front. So I turned on autopilot, and it started like asking me, take the steering wheel. And I didn't. I ignored it. And I said, what will happen? It started to slow down. Probably at around 50 or 60 kilometers per hour, it turned on the hazard lights, and it just stopped. It just made a full stop. So at least I knew if heart attack happens or something, I would not die. It will stop, and people will notice that I'm standing in front of, in the middle of the highway. They would probably save me. But I think Volkswagen has this cool stuff where it will drive to the lane, and then it will stop and also start the horn beeping so that people can take... That's cool. That's very cool. I have to give it to Volkswagen.
I don't know what XPeng does. I already tested a little bit also that.
You need a video for that.
Yeah, but I didn't have the courage to do it until the end. Because again, right now...
Three, and I need to do a 3 and stuff.
The way, but it starts saying grab your wheel, and then it starts getting reds on the screen. Then it comes a big red message saying take control of the car, and beeping inside. But then I said, okay, it's enough. Let me get it. So it's getting mad at me.
Because do you get punished? Would you get? Does it disable it?
No.
I disabled it for me. I've already done that once.
That is so strange. Yeah, that is so strange in Tesla, because for me, it's very crazy to take everything out to the touchscreen, and then you activate self-drive. And if you just look to the screen, it says, look at the streets. And come on.
I've got a hack for this. Sunglasses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It doesn't. I've tried it. If you
you know why? Because you have a
camera.
Tesla, and Tesla doesn't have infrared sensors. In Chinese cars, we have infrared sensors blasting in my eyes. Even if I do it like in Neo, I was with sunglasses. I looked at the monitor, and it says like, "Pay attention." I was like, "Oh my god, okay."
No, I found that out. I found that out accidentally because I put sunglasses on and it was on the way to Germany, and I nodded. I must have nodded off for like a minute. I was expecting a beep, but there was no beep. Then I started like looking at things, and it didn't tell me. It didn't tell me to.
Yeah, because it's normal camera. And in here, if I record XPeng from the inside, this air blasters are blasting all the time and watching the ice. And sometimes they do beep at me when I'm in the city and I'm just doing something in the infotainment system and the traffic jam is like pay attention or something.
It's such a weird thing to put in because it is safer when you're in autopilot. I do it all the time when like my kids have spilt something. I just turn around and fix it. Why should it blare at you? Take the steering wheel.
It's safety because they don't want people to go completely crazy until it's fully self-drivable. And I think that's smart. I appreciate that it reminds me a little bit that hey, you are watching for too long outside, the area, but eventually it will go away. In China, I think probably in 1-2 years, the next generation of the cars will already not have. Maybe they will have it, but it will be just driving itself. Like
but
again,
it was already there, wasn't it? Because didn't your Model S at the start had none of this? You could just do it and it would just stay on regardless.
Yeah. So my Model S didn't have an internal camera in the cabin. And when I received the autopilot update in the beginning, and European Union didn't even know what autopilot is, so there were no regulations. I was able, because right now you need to do every 30 seconds, you need to touch the wheels. Again, European Union, fantastic regulations. So every 30 seconds, my car will say like, please hold the steering wheel. Why? Okay. But before this regulation came, I drove for several years a Tesla and I didn't need to do nothing. And the car, if it didn't feel the threat of around surroundings or stuff, my record was to do probably in 2016. Literally, nobody knew what autopilot is. I did in Germany a stretch of probably 170 kilometers without touching nothing in the night. It was just going and going and going and going and going and going. And I was just sitting there. And one time in traffic jam, I have to say, in Germany, there was a traffic jam and I was so bored.
Really?
I took out my laptop and I called my friend and I said, hey, shall we play a real tournament? He's like, yeah, okay, I'm logging in. So I logged in and I kicked his ass. And I told him like I'm doing it from the car while the car is driving in traffic jam. He's like, what? You beat me in the car. And because my car had a glass roof, the truck driver on top of the saw what I was doing, and I looked at him. He was like, approval. That was like, okay. I said, wow, that's the peak technology. In 2016, people didn't know what the hell is going on. Like, how is it even possible that someone is not driving, touching the wheel? But yeah, it was, again, the car changed my mind of how I look at technology. Literally, that it just blew my mind at the time. Okay, yeah. I think, listen, electric cars is the future. It's present, actually. It's not the future anymore. It's the present. And China is leading the way. There's no question about it. The technology which we're getting from China, the amount of research and development happening there, it's absolutely mind-blowing in EV market space. Mind-blowing. I'm following the battery technology, what they're doing there. I'm following what other automakers are doing. Every second day, there's a new model of a car which is better than the old one. I would be pretty pissed if I would be in China. You buy the car, next day the car is old already. You have to buy a new one. Like, oh my God. Because he got 2 fridge and I only got 1. And now I got massage, which is great. But now the new stuff in Chinese cars is the butt massage. Now you get butt massage with, not only just butt massage, but you get massage of the back and the butt with the hot stones. That's the new hot thing in China. Nobody's want to buy the cars without hot stones massage. Apparently,
hot stones and fridges. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because what else would you do on the autopilot? Okay, the car is driving itself. You need to do something. So now you got the massages.
Yeah.
And we are talking about hardware, but I cannot imagine the innovations and the software that we will have in 1 year from now. with artificial intelligence inside the cars, driving for us. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Well, the car will be, as you were saying, we are getting in the car, but it's not a car. It's just a transportation. It's your personal bus. So you don't need even to be looking at the street. You can just be 4 seats looking at each other like a minivan, and we can be playing cards while the car is driving or whatever you want.
So true.
It's crazy.
Maybe last question, Hugo, from in your opinion, what is next? Like, where do you see your G6 or maybe G9 in 1 year? What do we get as new features? What do you think XPeng is working on to make the life better?
So one of the things that I believe that will be different, again, XPeng is a software company. So I do believe that the biggest innovations will be in software. So I do believe that we still need to integrate some of the biggest components that we have in the car. Assistants with X combos, and then the self-drive system, and then of course the infotainment by itself. But when they change, because the assistant, for instance, it's stupid. Okay, so it has some intelligence already, so they call it AI, but it is not AI. So it's just
we got AI as well.
Yeah. She currently she can understand more or less what you are saying because of some key words that you say. So if you say blah blah blah, close window, blah blah blah, she will understand that it's closed window, and she will do it. But if you say shut off the thing that it's right next to my shoulder, she doesn't know. But with AI, she will do a bunch of things and connecting to the external world. So something like we have also with Siri and Google Assistant.
Yep.
Inside the car. So connecting to the house, connecting to the car, doing a bunch of stuff and connecting with X combos then to automate a bunch of stuff. So I imagine that we are arriving at home. The car knows where we are with localization. She can start already some activities at home, turning on the lights, opening the door.
Xiaomi can do
without doing anything.
Xiaomi being Xiaomi, they have smart home systems in China, and then you can control your home from the car or your car from the home. It's already working, and people are doing it, like preconditioning the house before you even arrive, or preconditioning the car when you leave. Like, for example, when you shut the door, the car starts, so things like that.
I can do it already with the XPeng, but using the Android Auto and the Home Assistant that it's also inside. So I have an Home Assistant installation at home. So my mobile has Home Assistant. So I can, with localization, when I am arriving at home, I can open my garage door automatically, open the lights, etc. But again, it's on a separate software that is running on the car. So in fact, I can do it already, but integrating everything inside the car on the inbuilt system of the car, it would be amazing. So I do believe that those innovations, in 1 year, I think we will look at our cars in a different way. If we don't have EU coming in the way.
Oh my God.
I've got something to tell you about the EU, and they'll put their nose in, and they'll.
No, guys, we have a dash cam in the car. We didn't talk about that, and just to close it, Tesla can use the dash cam, or better, you can use the sentry mode with your mobile. You can check the cameras. We cannot, but we have everything there to be used.
Right. Exactly. You didn't realize it.
Yeah, but Tesla can do it. And I don't know even why. I already tried to find out why.
Wait, Shodah, you can look live in your camera feed?
Yeah.
I don't think I can at the minute.
If you have the premium connectivity service, you can.
Security.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You know, I don't.
Maybe not. Premium. I don't want this feature because I will be doing nothing else than just watching the camera on my car. I don't want that feature. Don't bring this meat.
It is a bit anxious driving, anxiety driven, because like you say, I did park it down somewhere once before and I was constantly checking it. Like,
no, but for instance, we have the sentry mode and we receive a message. So sometimes What?
It's true. It's true. I have this, but I somehow didn't. I need to activate notification. Sentry mode detected abnormal vibration of the vehicle.
Oh,
But then you have a notification, but you don't know what happened.
that's
right,
worse.
right.
That's worse. That's
That's
worse.
worse.
Than it's worse.
I have a lot of those from XPeng.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, at least as you know, Artur, the Sentry camera does work when capturing incidents. Doesn't
No,
it?
but the problem is that it is also very cautious. So I have it on moderate, and sometimes it's just a car going through, and I get a notification, detected something, and you arrive to the car and it says, risk events happens. Go check the cameras, and you go there, and there's nothing, not a single person, nothing.
Do you get notifications that say peasants slammed door into car?
No,
Oh, it happened.
No.
It happened to me recently, but
really.
yeah. So I was parking in the city center, and I come in, and there was like risky event detected. I turned on the video. The cool part is they put the red dot on the timeline where you need to actually scroll to. That's a fantastic.
No, that's cool.
feature.
That's
So
cool.
I scroll there, and then there's the girl just slam opening the door, and it literally stopped probably 1 millimeter from my car, because I went out immediately, and I looked at the car. There's no, because it was a little bit dusty, like the car, so I would have seen that it touched the door, and the dust was perfectly aligned. You know, it was like spreaded perfectly, so I didn't detect anything. But I was close. Like I was. The problem is the cameras are looking a little bit down.
Yeah.
So I just saw her legs
You
and
just saw
skirt
the door.
and the car. But I would like, at least I would know the time, and I call the police, and they would look at the cameras of the city, and they would know where to search for. But still, because XPeng has more cameras, they can just activate more cameras to record more stuff, and then I would see different angles, faces at least, because right now you don't see faces much.
No, it's all to the ground.
To the ground, yeah. So it helps you a little bit, but it doesn't.
I don't know if you saw the video that I made on Sentry, but I had a very
girl peeing or something. Yeah. Oh my god. First of all, I said to myself, where is Europe going? Like, what the hell is happening here with us? Yeah, that was a funny video. And it started blinking, right? And they ran away.
She just went to the back of the car. She just pushed the pants down, and then the car started blinking, and she ran away.
Because it says on the screen, it says that you're being recorded. So it says that, exactly. It's
That's crazy.
Yeah, great feature. Sentry mode is amazing.
But also dash cam. We have a dash cam also in the car, but we are not able to use it.
We're not. I think if you put the stick in, you can. No, or not?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
EU.
Is that EU again?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's GDPR, privacy, blah 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 blah. Who cares? Like literally,
No one cares.
It is very strange because Australia has the dash cam, but they cannot use YouTube while driving or any other app, multimedia app, video and stuff like that while driving, while we can. So it's a mess. So it's the same car, the same hardware, the same software, but then they activate or
as I told you, in China, these cars are driving themselves in the cities, so fully, like from A to Z. And people are just sitting there and do nothing. It's possible, but somehow we don't get it. All right, gents. I think we'll definitely repeat that from time to time, these conversations when we have something new. Great channel, Hugo, for you. I'm learning a lot of stuff. I can't you to rewatch more of the videos you do. Keep up the good stuff. And we are with Shodah. We'll keep up the Pixel Slaves running. We have some cool projects, obviously about VR, but also about AI. We just started the show where we brainstorm idea and build the MVP within 1 week. So basically we brainstorm the AI, build the first MVP, and then we finish it with the developers. And then so now we're finishing this week one stuff which we did last week. So that will be a pretty interesting video to do. But yeah, we are living in really amazing times, I have to say.
I have to deep dive a little bit on your videos because I saw that it is VR related, and I have a VR headset. Well, two in this case.
Oh wait, what?
That's what?
Okay, we're not finishing this discussion yet. Wait 1 second.
I have it, but I think it's the ones that you don't like.
Okay, Quest, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but listen. The good news is now you're in good hands.
Mhm.
We'll make you a proper VR user. Okay, you are making us a proper XPeng users, and but we will make you a proper VR user. No, listen, the we are more on the PC VR stuff. So the VR headsets, you're probably using standalone applications, right? Not with the PC.
Also with the PC, I'm using also Steam VR and also the
Blink or something, right? Virtual desktop.
virtual desktop. Yeah.
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 Oh, so
That
you
is the
are
way.
okay. Welcome
the
to
way.
the. Wait a
Welcome.
second. So next time we do this from inside Somnium, you just launch the Steam VR, you download Somnium, and we in the city center we'll have. I need to import. We need to import there's G9 model being sold on some site like for like $50. We need to buy it and import it into Somnium.
Okay.
We'll just have it there, and we'll do the next podcast. We'll do inside Somnium space, because why not?
Yeah. Have like an XPeng like showcase in the city center.
I honestly speaking, if I get connection with their marketing department, I have no problem like placing them the shop. If they would feature it somewhere on their socials, we would make the shop for them inside Somnium with the car model and some information about the cars. Why not?
You could do like a really high fidelity model of the interior, couldn't you? And that'd be cool. Actually, it'd be really cool. Automotive.
Yeah, then we need to put it in the world. We can do XPeng World. And then because in the main world it will be performance heavy stuff. But
so no, the Quest 3 is. We may take a little dump on Meta now and then, but as a headset, it's nice. It's a good headset.
It's a good value for the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good value for the money.
Yeah, I got it to play some games, so I do like play games. It was just a friend that showed me. I was going to buy the PlayStation headsets just for playing games, and then there was a guy, a friend of me, that told me, no, don't go for that. Go for this, because there is a game that is amazing. That is the Onward game. I don't know if you guys know.
I play the crap out of that.
Yeah, so I got the Quest 2. I played a bunch of Onward. I bought the gun. So it was crazy because I have, as I'm a photographer, I have a studio, so I have a very open space where I can just put my headset and just play with it. And so I just played it for like 2 years in a row, nothing else, just Onward. But the graphics are crazy bad. But then I decided to get a new PC, entered on PC VR with Onward again. The graphics much better.
It's night and day, into it?
It's completely different. And then they released the Quest 3, and it was immediately my purchase. So now I have 2 headsets.
What I wanted to ask you, Jesus. Oh, what kind of photographer you are? What photography do you do?
Newborn, maternity, newborn, and families.
Okay. Nice. All right.
I really want to nerd out on camera tech, but I know we ain't got much time.
Because you can be VR photographer, right? You can do. Let me share my screen for a second.
What?
You can be a VR photographer. I'm just saying. You can make some cool photography inside VR. Yeah, this picture is crazy. Like I'm standing next to the car.
Yeah.
With full body tracking. It's like so many memories. But yeah, it's. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, because our built-in camera uses like focal distance, focal length, and aperture, and you can really play around with. If you sound like a camera nerd as well, so you might appreciate that side of things.
Filters and bokeh effect, and look at this. Look at this picture. I'm shooting the gun.
Yeah,
I pictured it like it's exactly when I was shooting it out. That's crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of. Okay, we'll make even more VR nerd. Fantastic. Now all the dots are connected. I think we'll make all the XPeng, because we are in the Discord of XPeng Discord owners or something, and we'll make them. I'll obviously post this video when we release it, and we'll hopefully release it within a few days.
Okay,
and we'll make them VR nerds too. VR nerds.
And XPeng just needs to make their own headset that you can wear while you're driving on autopilot. The circle is complete.
And with the VR in the head.
Yes, yes. And a fridge.
Wow, that's the future. If you will make EU approve that, congratulations. I want to see that happening. But yeah, the one thing I'm missing in XPeng is the 220 volt socket inside the car.
Yeah.
Because if I had that, I would put base stations. I would make a VR out of XPeng. Oh my God, I would do so much for the VR. I would power 5090 computer out of it. And I would, oh my God, that would be fantastic. That would be a dream come true, but hey, we'll have to wait for the next one. Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Hugo, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Huge pleasure. And keep up the good work. And then we see each other in the next episodes.
You too, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.